The sun rose weakly over Boston Harbor on the morning of March 7, 1805. Its pale light sliced through the lingering fog, casting long, eerie shadows across the cobblestones. The tension of the previous night had finally lifted, replaced by a quiet, almost solemn calm. The stolen cargo, those crates of exotic animals and rare chemicals, had been recovered. They were carefully returned to Cornelius Hargrave, who showed a relief so profound it was almost reverent. I watched Ethan Cadwell as he examined each crate, his pen scratching across his notebook as he took meticulous notes. A parrot chirped nervously from its cage, and a small monkey shifted with caution, but all were unharmed. Cadwell's keen eyes moved from animal to crate, from chemical to wooden plank, absorbing every last detail with the same intense focus as if the theft were still in progress. He was a master of observation, seeing things that others, including myself, would surely miss. "It is done, Marcus," he said at last, his voice calm and measured, a stark contrast to the chaos we just navigated. "The crime has been unraveled, and the perpetrators accounted for. Yet," he paused, tapping a thoughtful finger against his notebook, "the intricacy of this operation suggests a wider network, one that may yet challenge Boston's security in more subtle ways." It was in that moment I understood. Leonard Crowley, the man who had orchestrated the immediate theft, was merely a cog in a much larger machine. It was a machine whose shadow loomed over the city, unseen by most, but unmistakably clear to a mind like Cadwell's. Even as the dock workers went about their day, completely oblivious to the danger that had just passed them by, Cadwell's attention remained fixed on possibilities, on patterns, on the unseen threads connecting this crime to others that might have been, or others that were yet to come. Cornelius Hargrave approached us, gratitude etched into every line of his weathered face. "Mr. Cadwell, Mr. Whitman, I can scarcely thank you enough. Without your intervention..." He trailed off, the words inadequate to express his relief. Cadwell simply inclined his head, a gesture of quiet acknowledgement. "Observation and reason," he replied, "reveal more than panic ever could. The world is rarely as it seems, Mr. Hargrave. One must learn to read between appearances." His words, though simple, carried the weight of a profound truth, a philosophy that guided his every action. As the merchant departed with his precious cargo, a mixture of awe and excitement coursed through me. This was my very first case alongside Ethan Cadwell, and already I had glimpsed the extraordinary depth of his mind. I saw how he seamlessly wove together chemistry, physics, zoology, and sheer, raw intellect to transform even the most baffling crime into a solvable puzzle. It was like watching a master artisan at work, each piece of evidence a block of stone to be shaped into a coherent sculpture of truth. I wrote my report for the Boston Gazette with great care that day. I made sure to emphasize the brilliance of my companion, highlighting the successful recovery of the goods and the swift capture of the thief. However, I was careful to omit the subtleties of his methods, the almost preternatural deductions that might render him less human, perhaps even unsettling, in the eyes of the public. He was a man of science and logic, but to the uninitiated, his abilities could seem like something else entirely. And yet, even as I chronicled our success, a shiver of anticipation ran through me. We had dealt with Crowley, but Cadwell's words echoed in my mind. Somewhere in Boston, unseen, the greater mind of a man named Sebastian Locke was at work. I had no doubt that our encounter with him, whenever it came, would demand every bit of intellect, patience, and courage we possessed. This small victory felt like the opening move in a much larger, more dangerous game of chess. For now, though, justice had been served. The city could breathe a collective sigh of relief, entirely unaware that the first threads of a far-reaching criminal web had been touched, analyzed, and recorded by the extraordinary detective standing beside me. The quiet of the harbor belied the storm that Cadwell could see gathering on the horizon. He was the city's silent guardian, a sentinel of reason against the encroaching chaos. That evening, I sat at my desk, the day's events replaying in my mind. I opened my personal journal and began to write, trying to capture the feeling of the day. "This was the first case I had the honor to witness with Ethan Cadwell," I wrote, the ink flowing freely. And I knew, even then, that the city had not yet seen the full measure of his genius, or the full reach of the shadows that waited in the wings. The adventure had only just begun. and I was ready for whatever came next. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the world of Ethan Cadwell. It's a thrill to bring these stories to life. If you're as captivated by this mystery as I am, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter. We have many more puzzles to solve together. Until next time.